Alessandro Cagli, Public Affairs and Corporate Social Responsibility Director for Ferrero. You've released a report today. We're here at EBS and you've released a report and announced it to the conference here. Some interesting developments for a company such as yours. You're a family-owned firm. I guess you don't have to deliver many reports if you want, do you?
You're absolutely correct. We don't have any quarterly reports because our shareholders are the Ferrero family, so there's nothing, let's say, forcing us to do this. However, we decided to issue our first report on corporate social responsibility for a very simple reason. For us, the number one thing that is important is to gain and maintain the trust of our consumers. And we do realize that anymore in today's world, our consumers do want to know where we stand on all the corporate social responsibility issues, going from, social to ethical sourcing to nutrition and lifestyle to environment, safety, food quality and so on. So we've decided to publish this report where we detail all the different actions and commitments, what we've already reached and what we plan to reach for the future in all of these different areas. Let me also add that another advantage, I think, of being a family-owned company is that we can also decide to invest in social projects or in particular products for the long run, meaning that even if in the short term we might be losing money, if we believe that it's the right thing to do, we do it anyway. And of course this is something that companies that are listed in the stock market don't have the luxury to be able to do.
Sure. Okay, now corporations such as yours that are involved in the food production industry, things like fair trade food, these are very big issues for consumers. Things like the sourcing, the types of labour that are used, the types of transportation, very big issues. Now, what exactly are you doing and how does your report say that you're getting along?
Okay, well, I think we're talking about two different things here. I will briefly touch upon both. One is ethical sourcing of raw materials which go into our products, and the other thing is in general, environment, CO2, energy, and so on. Now, regarding the first issue, of course, the issue of child labor is a very delicate and complex issue. We believe that the real solution cannot be achieved overnight. We believe that the right way to achieve this is through collaboration with the governments of the countries that are involved in this. For example, if we're talking about cocoa, we're definitely talking especially about Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire, because industry alone, as much as we might like to, cannot go into a country and change the laws and tell people what to do. So we're very active in a global partnership with the World Cocoa Foundation, with the International Cocoa Initiatives. But we also have our own local partnerships in all these countries where we are slowly trying to increase the quota of the cocoa, for example, that we are sourcing from those countries, to make sure that we have an increasing quota which is certified to be sustainable. And when I mean sustainable in the broader sense. So not only avoiding worse forms of child labor, but also taking into account the economic situation, the social situation, and the welfare of the farmers that are involved. So this is for the part concerning ethical sourcing. Of course, it may be different for different commodities. I mean, they're not all sourced in the same way, but that's the general aim.
And for the environment?
For the environment, we have very specific targets. There are some things that are very innovative which we have done now. For example, in Alba, our headquarters in Piedmont, we have built a cogeneration plant called Alba Power, which at the same time is able to provide our production plant with energy, and it gives teleheating to the city of Alba for free. So this is, an initiative, but we have general targets. I can tell you that for 2013 we plan to, first of all, be able to self-produce the energy for our European production plant, and 20% of that will come out of renewable sources. We also plan to reduce our CO2 emissions by 2013 by 15%.
Okay. So, we're here at an event full of EU policymakers, and we're hearing about EU 2020, we're hearing about reductions of, and of course the 2020 plan as well for climate change, 20% reduction by 2020, and you're aiming to it in just a few years. Is it really achievable for your firm, do you think?
Well, as I said before, I think we have the advantage of being able to invest in doing this without being too, obsessed with costs. As I said before, we believe that it's the right thing to do, so we can just announce it and do it. In this sense, we have an advantage. Of course, when we're talking about policies, I think it would help a company like ours and all the companies that decide to invest in being more, socially and environmentally responsible, to create a system, I would call it, of incentives and disincentives. Because sometimes you may have a situation where you have the so-called disadvantage of the first mover, where you have, as much as we can do it and we want to do it, we still have, an extra cost because we make certain decisions which some of our competitors may not have. So if there would be, some nice tax break or some kind of incentive for companies like us that, companies that don't go their way would not have, I think this would be a good contribution from the policy side.
It sounds to me like you're suggesting that the kinds of stumbling blocks that were found in, for example, Copenhagen and the governmental negotiations, you deal with on a business and an industry level, and you're just trying to operate in a slightly different manner just to ensure you can make the progress. Is that fair?
Yeah. I think so. I think it's a fair assessment.
Okay, now changing slightly, I mean, as a company such as yours, and your report, as you were saying, relates to your business practice across a wide range of areas, are there things that you do on behalf of consumers, for example? Are there, the things that real people in the shops will see that you could describe, perhaps?
Yeah, well, I think there are a number of initiatives in the field of what we call the promotion of healthy lifestyles. We believe that, all foods, including confectionery and chocolate that we produce, have a role in the diet. Of course, we need to promote this responsibly. We need to promote also eating our products in the context of a balanced and varied diet. We never suggest, and we would never suggest, only to eat chocolate. Actually, in many of our campaigns, we do suggest how to best combine our products with other food products. For example, having a nice slice of bread and Nutella for breakfast along with a yogurt and fruit juice. You can see this also in our commercials. We don't only talk about our product, but also how to integrate that in a balanced way in a certain eating occasion. And then there is another part of the equation, because you need to be physically active and burn some of the calories that you put into your body by eating. This is how you achieve a healthy lifestyle. So we support a number of projects and programs. For example, EPOD, which means Ensemble Prévenant l'Obésité des Enfants, which is a program active already in 4 European countries and being rolled out with the support also of the European Commission. It's a project that involves local authorities, teachers, local communities, to explain to kids while they grow up how to eat correctly, how to exercise, and how to achieve a globally healthy lifestyle. We also have our own flagship program for the promotion of physical activity, which is called Kinder Plus Sport. So we organize tournaments for kids. We help schools when they ask for that. We don't go there uninvited. Help schools to organize sporting events and so on to get the kids active, because we believe that if they grow up understanding the importance of physical activity and sports, it will be easier for them to grow up as healthy adults and not just couch potatoes in front of the PlayStation all day.
Alessandro Cagli, it sounds like you're making great progress. Thank you for your time today.